How's it going, everyone? Yes, I'm back here with another video, and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. Today, you join me at the Toronto International Auto Show. This is something I've been waiting for all year, and normally I get to come by myself and get to come as a normal person, but I am here as a media guest, so I get to come in without all the craziness. And the special part about that is I can bring you along with me. So if you're ready, let's go and enjoy the show together. Can't wait to show you what we've got. So I want to start off by saying I absolutely love auto shows. I feel like there's such a great opportunity to go and see so many different cars, even if you're not a car enthusiast. It's a great way to go shopping for a car, to understand all the different features and compare lots of vehicles all in one space. And it's great because you've got the manufacturer's representatives there and you can talk to them and ask questions about it. So it's a lot of fun. But for car enthusiasts, it's like a little bit of car heaven. You've got so many awesome cars to look at and great vendors in the automotive space that you can interact with and learn more about. There are also a lot of great driving experiences at the auto show, whether it's simulators in the Auto Exotica area or taking a ride in a Jeep Wrangler going sort of off-road style driving inside the building. And you've got a lot of electric vehicle test drives as well, which is really cool. The first stop over here is the Corvette section, and we've got the unveiling here of the Corvette ZR1, which is the super high performance version of the C8 Corvette. And it was really cool to play around with it and take a look at all the different features and carbon fiber that it's got on it. We also have this beautiful Corvette E-Ray, which is the electric sort of hybrid version of the Corvette, which also has a tremendous amount of power. And we've got the Z06 and a few others that we can play around with. It was really awesome to get to see all the interior features and compare the looks right next to each other. Moving into the Audi section, it was really nice to see that Audi R8 GT. So nice to have still a V10 engine in production, and Audi had a lot to offer in the show. Really nice to see this display. It had beautiful lighting, and it was great to see all the colors and different combinations of vehicles that they had there. That RS6 Avant is also very special. It would be great to see more of these high-performance station wagons here in North America. Now we find ourselves in the North Building, and there's a great display from Mercedes and Nissan and Hyundai and a few other manufacturers. We'll come back to some of those later on, but I was really interested in the Hyundai Santa Fe that they had on display here and the Ioniq 5N, which were really cool cars. And we'll talk a little bit more about them as we go forward today, but it was nice to see such a great display from Grand Touring Automobiles. And you've got so many beautiful exotics over here, from the Aston Martin DBS. We've got a Pininfarina Battista, which is something that I've never seen before in person, and it's in this beautiful red with the bronze wheels. It looks so beautiful there. And right beside it, you've got a Bugatti Chiron Super Sport, and you've got a Ferrari Roma over here, which is sort of the entry-level Ferrari, but I think actually looks really beautiful. And of course, beside it, you've got the all-new Ferrari Purosangue. We'll call it the SUV of Ferrari, and beside it, the 296 GTB. And one car that I was really excited about is the brand new Lamborghini Revuelto, which you see here in this absolutely beautiful blue. It looks so cool, continuing the generation of the V12 Lamborghinis. And you've got a nice display here also of Maseratis, and swinging back around, we've got a really nice Lamborghini Urus. It's the new generation of it and looks very cool. You've got a Bentley Continental GT, which looks absolutely beautiful as well. Now we've got the McLarens, which I am a huge fan of. I think McLarens look really cool and unique and special. They drive really well too, so it was great to see a nice selection from the 750S. You've got a McLaren GT over there as well. Really nice to see these cars. I wish they had a Senna or a P1. That would have been very cool to see on this display as well, but we'll forgive them for that. Moving on to the Mercedes display here, you've got the brand new Mercedes SL over there on display on the rotating platform, and the Mercedes AMG GTS over here, which looks very cool. It was nice to see some of the minor updates that Mercedes is doing to the interiors and the taillights, which look really cool. It was then time for my favorite part of the show, which is the Auto Exotica section. You've got so many cool exotics here, and well, I'm going to try to keep up. We've got an Aston Martin DBS over there. We've got some really cool renditions of movie cars brought to life. And I happen to love that stuff. One of my favorites over here definitely has to be the Eleanor sort of fastback Mustang from Gone in 60 Seconds. If I had unlimited money and could get a retro car, that is definitely one on my shopping list. And of course, you've got a 488 over there from Ferrari and a Lamborghini Huracan. Those are always a highlight. And a little bit further down, we see we've got a Rivian lineup. You've got the all-new Rivian R2, which looks really nice. Just a smaller version of the R1S. And I can't wait to drive one and give a review for you guys at some point when they're made public for me. And moving on, we've got some really beautiful exotics here from Pagani. You've got a Porsche Carrera GT, a Lexus LFA, a Lamborghini Countach, Diablo, Ferrari F40 and F50. To be honest with you, I was a little bit in heaven here, kind of starstruck by seeing all of these in one place. I'd never seen the new Countach, or have I seen the Ferrari F40 and F50 together. I've had models of these cars when I was a kid and posters of them back in the day, and it's amazing to see them over here in the show right next to each other. And of course, you've got another 750S from McLaren, and moving on, you've got a few other BMWs, really nice to see, and some older stuff. This is the collection from the Cobble Beach Classics, which look really, really nice. And some of my favorites also, we've got Lotus back at the show. I remember back in the day seeing the Evoras and the Exiges. It's really nice to see the Emira here in the flesh. And to be honest, that is one of the really cool cars that we can still buy with a manual transmission and a V6 from a Camry. And taking a look at the Cobble Beach section again, it was really nice to see the Mercedes 300 SLs. They are absolutely beautiful. Also one of my favorite classics. And you've got an SLR McLaren over there. You've got an SLS, and you've got the new AMG GT, which is so cool to see all of them next to each other, sort of the reincarnation modern versions of each other. And on the right hand side over there, we get to see the Soleil concept from Cadillac. Cadillac honestly has been killing it in my opinion with the exterior designs. I love those light up grills. I think they look really cool with the Celestique as well. At this point, we get to one of the cool things of participating in the media day, which is getting some presentations and awards. And this was something actually that we did right at the beginning of the show. I know it's at the end of the video, but it was really cool to see all the cool awards that go out. You hear about the AJAC Car of the Year award and some of the awards for the best SUVs and cars and stuff like that. And it was really cool to see those awards being handed out and getting to hear from the manufacturers. And it was just a really exciting thing to see. The first presentation was really from Cadillac, showcasing the beautiful all-electric Celestique. And apparently there's a lot of cool customizations that you can do for it. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but it was really cool to see it up there and to have it drive by. I love all the new lighting that they've got there and just the fact that it can be very creative in terms of the way that you purchase it. So hopefully that will come out soon and we'll be able to learn a little bit more about that and maybe go for a test drive. But for now, I'll let you just look at it for a moment and then we'll move on to the next. Now, as the Celestique drives by us, the next presentation was around Hyundai and its partnership with Sick Kids and how Hyundai is really doing its part in terms of trying to get rid of pediatric cancer. And I was so touched by this story. It was so nice to hear about it. I had no idea that they were doing this, and to see that Hyundai Santa Fe with all the handprints of children who are battling cancer at the moment, it was so cool to see and so nice to see that auto manufacturers are giving back to the world. And by the end, we heard from a survivor, a child who survived cancer, thankfully, and it was really nice to hear his story and his gratitude to Hyundai for the $1 million donation they gave to Sick Kids Hospital. One last thing that I'll mention before I move on, every single Hyundai vehicle sold across North America and soon to be across the globe will have a portion of the proceeds donated to cancer research to rid the world of pediatric cancer. And that to me is just a phenomenal story and definitely deserves some support. Okay, up next, we got to see one of the Cobble Beach vehicles, this beautiful Mercedes 300 SL, which was sort of the start of the Mercedes supercars, and now is worth quite a bit. It is the start of these gull-wing doors that we see now on some other vehicles, which is very, very cool. It was beautiful to see it, and it was nice to hear it drive by too, not just an electric vehicle, something with an internal combustion engine. Up next, we actually got a little bit of a treat from Mercedes. They used the new G-Wagon and showed us how it can spin on a dime, which was a very cool feature that I heard about and saw on a few reviews, but it's so cool to see it in person, and they did it here in the auto show for us, which was a lot of fun. And up next were just a bunch of the awards, all the AJAC awards, and it was really cool to see the awards being handed out and which vehicles won in all the different segments and why. You can take a look online and find all of the results. Anybody who participated in the auto show would have seen all of the cars next to their awards. That was really fun to see, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time showing them to you, but I'll just kind of breeze through. And just to sum up, there were a couple things that I wanted to summarize here. Number one, a lot of screens in cars. Cars are getting very expensive, filled with lots of complicated features, but it's really nice to see the dedication to luxury and not giving up on the internal combustion engines. There are a lot of electric vehicles here, but there still are a lot of other internal combustion engine cars that you can buy and probably will be able to buy for the foreseeable future. So don't panic. There's a lot of great stuff coming out, and it's nice to see that there still are some manual transmission cars and enthusiast cars out there, but it was great to see all the practical, normal stuff as well. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining me on this really exciting day as a media guest at the Toronto International Auto Show here in 2025. It was an amazing event. We saw so many great cars. It was great to talk to some of the manufacturers' representatives, see all the cool textures and technology that we get in all the new cars that are hitting the roads very soon. So thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in coming to the auto show, every year it's here in February in Toronto. It's a great fun time. There's a lot of activities to do, and it's a great time out with the kids as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of the week, and I'll catch you again in the next video.